had live on stand to know what to say. Mind is a razor blade to call for hands above. To lean on wouldn't be good enough for me. One night of magic rush, the start a simple touch. One night to push and scream, and then relief. 10 days of perfect tears, the colors red and blue. We had a promise made, we were in love. To call for hands above, to lean on wouldn't be good enough for me. To call for hands above, to lean on wouldn't be good enough. And you that had a birthday, and you kept us away with false teeth, sharing different heartbeats in one life. To call for hands above, to lean on wouldn't be good enough for me. To call for hands above, to lean on wouldn't be good enough. We'll do it all, everything on our own. We don't need anything or anyone. If I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie with me? Just.
Hello, everyone. We are here today to celebrate the marriage of Ian Hazley and Jess Lee. And this wedding is a celebration of love, but it's also a celebration of family. So in honor of that, who supports the marriage of this man and this woman?
I do.
You can sit down. Everyone, you can please take your seats. And if you have your phones out, now's a good time to take your last pictures. Ian and Jess have asked if you would please keep your phones away during the ceremony, so thank you. All right. These two people have chosen to join their lives and their stories together, creating a brand new family here today. And we have the great honor and privilege to bear witness to this union. From the very beginning of the world, we were made to be in relationship with other people. We were made to love and be loved, and today, these two people have chosen one another as their lifelong partners. They have decided to stand here before God, their kids, and all of their friends and family to declare that they will honor, defend, celebrate, forgive, be committed to, and above all, love one another from this day forward. This is the first day of a lifetime that I'm sure will be filled with love and joy and tacos and dance parties. And on behalf of Ian and Jess, thank you all for being here to celebrate this particular day filled with love, joy, tacos, and dance parties. Would you please pray with me? Dear God, we come to you today so full of joy and love, and most of all, a huge attitude of gratitude. On a day like today, all we can say to you is thank you. Thank you for these two beautiful people standing in front of us, for their stories, however winding and complicated, that led them here to this day. Thank you for marriage, that wild and crazy adventure of a sacrament that you created that binds one heart to another and transforms two people into one thing entirely new. Thank you for grace and forgiveness. First, and most importantly, for the grace and forgiveness that you show each of us. And second, for the example we have in you to show grace and forgiveness to each other. Thank you for family, for those people you have put in our lives and in our homes and in our hearts. At the very beginning of the world, you knew that it was better for us not to be alone, and miraculously, you think the same is true for us today. Thank you for binding us together in relationships and for creating families for us. Families that are unique and messy and frustrating and beautiful. Families that make us crazy sometimes, but always make us better and stronger, more loved and more whole. Today, this little particular family makes it official, and I, for one, am so grateful for this soon-to-be Hazley crew. God, I'm so thankful for Ian, Jess, and these two awesome Aidens. Thank you for the opportunity to honor and join with, encourage and pray for, stand alongside and celebrate Ian and Jess today as they join as one in marriage and begin this next great adventure you have for them as a family. We love you and we are so, so thankful. Be with us today as we celebrate. Amen. Okay, so when Ian and Jess asked me to officiate their wedding, they had a couple of special requests. First, they asked me to share their story, which is something I'm honored to do and we'll get to in just a second. Next, they asked me to make this funny, which is a hard task since funny is not my best skill. And finally, they asked me to give my remarks entirely in song lyrics. Now, in hindsight, I realize this may have been a joke, but I'm a rule follower, so I'm going to give it a go. So, this is the story all about how Ian's life got flipped-turned upside down. 2 years ago, he was a boy, she was a girl. Can I make it any more obvious? He wanted her, and she was all night drunk in love. Soon, he was singing, "Baby, you light up my world like nobody else. As long as you love me, we could be starving, we could be homeless, we could be broke. Baby, 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 you're my hallelujah." Wise men say only fools rush in, but Ian, he couldn't help falling in love with you. But of course, Jess felt the same, singing, "Oh, my heart hurts so good. I love you, babe, so bad. You and me, we can take the world." At last, Jess, your love had come along. Your lonely days were over, and life was like a song. He found a woman stronger than anyone he knows. You shared his dreams, and then one day you shared his home. Exactly 1 year later, and Ian says, "Hey, baby, I think I want to marry you." He knelt to the ground and pulled out a ring and said, "Marry me, Jessica. You'll never have to be alone. I love you, and that's all I really know." And if you've seen the video, you know that Jess was like, "Oh, oh, 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 my God." Fast forward another year, and now they are family. They've got their Aiden and AP. Home is wherever they're with you. And now we're here at your wedding, and I have to give up on the song lyrics because there's only so much. In all seriousness, it is my great joy to be up here celebrating both of you. Besides being funny and speaking in song lyrics, the thing you first asked me to do was to share your story. And in some ways, you could say that your story began 2 years ago today. It was on that fateful day, March 18th, 2016, that the magical internet brought the two of you together for a hot date in the West Loop, where Jess ate 2 tacos and a bowl of ramen, something that Ian thought was very impressive. For Ian, seeing Jess for the first time that day made the whole world go in slow motion. In his words, she was just so pretty. Her smile was bigger than I thought, and her eyes lit up the whole street corner. Jess noticed Ian's kind eyes and his great hug, and immediately felt, in Queen Bee's words, drunk in love. She was giddy and full of butterflies, and all she could see was him. From there, things moved pretty fast. A couple weeks after that first date, this twosome became a foursome when they brought their same-named children to meet one another. For Ian, this was the moment he knew that Jess was the one. He saw the very thing we are celebrating today, that 2 puzzles started by 2 different people were coming together to form one big picture. For the boys, though, that fateful meeting went a little differently. AP said that meeting Ian and Aiden was kind of awkward. Despite that, he thought Ian was cool because he had a Brixton hat and a beard. When Aiden met Jess, he thought, and I quote, "Oh, She's a very nice person. Her son is very fun, but also annoying. I could keep telling the story from here, highlighting the many moments that brought the two of you closer together over the past 2 years. But to begin the story 2 years ago ignores something very important. This story, the story of your love, your marriage, and your family, actually began decades ago. Because your relationship is a result of the people you are, and the people you are have been shaped and created by years and years of life. Long before you met one another, you each had jobs and friends and adventures and Aidens. You had ups and downs and more unexpected moments than we could count. And as you know, the path to this moment on this day has not always been an easy one. Ian, you have a tattoo on your arm of an arrow with a break in the middle that represents life. And that space is a constant reminder that things don't always go according to plan, that ultimately, we are not in control of these lives that we live. There are hurdles and suffering and more twists and turns on our journeys than we would ever ask for. But here's the thing. All of that breaking, all of the hard moments and tears and pain, they carried you here. You are here not in spite of everything that has happened, but because of it. Those moments when you thought that everything had gone wrong, they are the moments that made you into the people you are today. Ian, you would not be the man you are today without the curveballs, breaks, and suffering in your story. And Jess, you would not be the woman you are today without the curveballs, breaks, and suffering in your story. Those moments weren't mistakes. They were preparing you to be the best husband and wife you can be. They were preparing you for this beautiful, forever relationship that we are celebrating today. And they were preparing you to create a family together. All of that life you lived before March 18th, 2016, all the good and the bad of it, was making you into the people you needed to be in order to love one another well forever. And loving each other well is something that you're pros at. Jess, Ian loves the real you, the one that most people don't get to see. He loves the woman he catches thinking while you blow dry your hair, the one who is fully herself, not proving anything to anybody. He loves how much you love being a mom, how much you love kids and animals, your patience, and your lame mom jokes. He loves that you call him on his crap and push him to be a better version of himself. Ian, Jess loves your huge heart. She loves that you would do anything for anyone. She loves your creative brain, your passion for food, and your slightly annoying organizational skills. She cannot imagine a life without you in it. And what's especially awesome about today is that you've got two boys who love you guys too. Jess, Aiden Scott thinks you are funny and sometimes easier to talk to than his dad. He loves that with AP, he always has someone to play with, and he loves that he finally has a sibling. He says that with you, Jess, his life has changed completely. When I was talking to him about the two of you getting married, he said, mainly, I'm just grateful that they're together. Ian, Aiden Parker loves your surprises. He loves that you do kind things for him, like taking him to Hamilton and New York City. He is happy to not be an only child anymore. And when I talked to him about the wedding, he said, it's so exciting for us all to be a family. And it is, right? It is so, so exciting for you all to be a family. All of the hard moments and great moments and tears and joy you've experienced in your individual lives, they carried you here. Here today, your two individual stories become one. From this moment on, your lives are permanently woven together, and my prayer for you today and every day is that nothing would ever drive them apart. You've got a big, beautiful future ahead of you, one that will be full of laughter and arguments and adventures and challenges and forgiveness and celebrations. One that will also apparently include some, or at least one baby, something I wouldn't normally mention in a big public forum like this, except for the fact that literally all four of you said that was what you were most excited about to be a family. Aiden said he wants another brother, even though he knows everyone wants a girl. AP wants his own personal Maven or Liam. Jess, Ian wants to have babies with you and grow old with you. Ian, Jess wants to have babies with you and smuggle more dogs into the house. Through all of this future, every unknown, exciting adventure ahead of you, you are a family. You're a family supported by hundreds of people who love you and who have carried you to this point. So I want you guys to take a minute and look out at the people in this room. These are the people who have walked with you through the ups and downs of your story so far. They have raised you and laughed with you and pushed you and challenged you. They are representatives of the first 30-odd years of your stories, and they will continue to be your cheerleaders, encouragers, challengers, and friends as you step into this next chapter. And to all of Ian and Jess's family and friends, they want you to know that you mean everything to them. They wouldn't be the people they are today without your love, support, and countless embarrassing memories. You made them into the man and woman up here today, and you made them ready for each other. And for that, they're so grateful. Okay, now look at each other. Good, you're already doing that. From this day forward, you guys are in this life together. And since I'm not a marriage expert, I called in some ringers to offer their blessings and advice for you, a couple whose marriage I know you both admire and hope to emulate. So in the words of Yaya and Papu, Ian's grandparents, I encourage you to always communicate with each other no matter what, and always be open with one another. Because the very best part of marriage is that you're walking through life with your best friend. And now it's time for us to do this thing. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so Ian, from this day onward, do you choose Jess to be your wife, your best friend, and your only love? To live together, play together, and laugh together. To work by her side and dream in her arms. To fill her heart and feed her soul. To always seek out the best in her. Always loving her with all your heart until the end of your forever. If so, say I do.
I do.
Jess, from this day onward, do you choose Ian to be your husband, your best friend, and your only love? To live together, play together, and laugh together. To work by his side and dream in his arms. To fill his heart and feed his soul. To always seek out the best in him. Always loving him with all your heart until the end of your forever. If so, say I do.
I do.
All right, so this is a day, like I said, about family. So I'm going to ask AP and Aiden to come up here because they're a part of this too. Aiden and Aiden. Today is a celebration of Jess and Ian, but it's also about the two of you. Today, at this wedding, you guys are becoming official brothers. The four of you are becoming a family, and because you're a part of this family, you get to make your promises today too. So I'm going to ask all of you 3 questions, and I would like all of you to answer them with I promise. Do you promise to love, respect, and protect each other from this day forward?
I
promise.
to love, respect.
Do you promise to have fun together and celebrate each other, laughing often and always, being on the same team?
I promise.
I promise.
Do you promise to accept the responsibility of being a family, encouraging and supporting each other in your new life together?
I promise.
My hope for all of you is that your home is a place of happiness for everyone who enters it, a place where everyone is welcome, a place for growing and learning and endless kitchen dance parties, a place for laughter and goofing off. And when life gets hard or you had a rough day, I hope you know that your family will always be a place of refuge where you're accepted and loved unconditionally. All right, Aiden and Aiden, you guys can sit down.
Love you guys.
Okay, Jess and Ian, you guys have chosen to make your own promises to one another by writing your own vows. These vows are your commitments to one another and your promises for your future together. So Ian, are you ready?
I am.
Okay.
Okay. Jess, in you I have found my match. I have found my partner. I have found my other half. You are a never-ending source of love and joy. You are my reason to smile. Your love lifts me up, gives me strength, and challenges me to be a better person. Our marriage will be made up of big milestones and small moments. Each will shape us as individuals and as a couple in ways we can't imagine or plan for. Our marriage will take work and commitment, but in you, I know I have found a partner who will be there through every challenge, every failure, and every success. As much as I want to be the guy who promises you the moon, we both know I'm too practical for that. The moon is pretty big and it's not really accessible by Uber, and I'm pretty sure it's north of Lincoln Park. But I want to promise you everything I can. So I've written the most honest vows that I can. Jess, I will always reload the dishwasher behind you. I can't help it. I will sometimes, more often than not, forget to let go and relax. I will never be good at sleeping in. I will always start your day with a kiss and a cup of coffee. I will sometimes wake you up on the weekends just to spend time with you. I will never use the letter K in a text message instead of the word okay. I will always drink all of your water. Just pour me a second glass. I will sometimes finish your leftovers, and I will never eat any of those gross seaweed snacks. I will always dance like no one is watching, especially when I know you're watching. I will sometimes sing like I'm alone in the house, especially when you are in the house. And I will never stop acting like our children, but only when they aren't watching. I will always have less hair today than I did yesterday. And I will always whine about it. I will sometimes act like an old man. I've been that way since I was 2. I will never stop looking forward to actually growing old with you, to raising our family, to having grandkids, to seeing what life brings these 2 little boys. I will always love our boys with all of my heart and be proud of them no matter what. I will sometimes be more strict than you because I'm Richard Jr., and little boys need rules and bedtimes. I will never not lift them up when they are down, guide them forward when they need a hand, or hold them tight when they need a hug. I will always say I'm sorry because I will sometimes make mistakes, but I will never stop trying to be the best version of myself for you. I will always watch for that moment when you look at yourself in the mirror one last time. I fall in love again every time. I will sometimes wake up early and watch you sleep, no matter how creepy it is. I will never get used to the way I feel when you look at me. I will always trust you and work as hard as I can to keep your trust in me. I will sometimes forget that I'm a difficult human, and that can be annoying. I will never let you forget that I love you. I will always do my best to listen first and speak second. I will respect your thoughts and your feelings and place them first. I will always put the needs of our family ahead of my own. I will always be there to support you, to remind you how amazing you are, to be your cheerleader and your #1 fan. And most importantly, Jess, I will always love you with all of my heart.
All right.
I'm sure.
All right, Jess, it's your turn.
2 years ago today, we met at the corner of Randolph and Sangamon. You took me on the best first date I have ever been on, which would later become my last first date. There are moments I reflect back on that still give me butterflies to this day. The way that your beard smelled and that navy blue coat you wore on the night of our first date. After that night, I knew something special was coming. You and I have created a life and a love I never could have imagined. Every day is an adventure with you, even walking 1 block to Target for our weekly shopping trip. You accept me for all that I am, including my faults. You bring so much joy and happiness into my life. No one has ever or will ever love me the way that you do. You gracefully entered my life and have made me a better partner and a better parent. You exude such a passion for anything in life, whether it be organizing a spreadsheet or washing the dishes. You have many, many attributes that I love, but my favorite is your huge heart. It takes a very special man to love another man's son as his own, and you have loved Aiden Parker from the second he came into your life. Your heart and soul and your mind inspire me to be the best person I can be. So, Ian, I promise to give you the best of myself, even when I am hangry. I promise to trust and respect you as your own person, and to realize that your interests, desires, and needs are no less important than my own. I promise to share with you my time and my attention, and to bring joy, strength, and imagination into our relationship. I promise to encourage your dreams and to help shoulder our challenges. I promise to recognize your strengths, see your potential, to be your biggest cheerleader, especially when you can't see it yourself. I promise to be a safe space for your secrets and your vulnerabilities. I promise to never keep score, even when I know I'm right. And I promise to be caring, truthful, and faithful, to love you as you are, not as I want you to be, and grow old by your side. I promise to never watch ahead on another Netflix, Hulu, HBO, CW, Prime Video, or Star show that we have started together. And most importantly, I promise to love you unconditionally and completely until the end of my days.
In response to these vows that you have just shared, you have chosen to give one another rings. These little pieces of metal are a constant reminder of everything you've just promised to one another, and a tangible symbol of your love and commitment. Ian, please place this ring on Jess's finger and repeat after me. I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a token of my love and devotion to you.
as a token of my love and devotion to you.
I pledge to you all that I am
I pledge to you all that I am
and all that I will ever be.
and all that I will ever be.
I liked it, so I'm putting a ring on it.
I liked I liked it, so I'm putting a ring on it.
All right, Jess. Please place this ring on Ian's finger and repeat after me. I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a token of my love and devotion to you.
as a token of my love and devotion to you.
I pledge to you all that I am
I pledge to you all that I am
and all that I will ever be.
and all that I will ever be.
I liked it, so I'm putting a ring on it.
I liked it, so I'm putting a ring on it.
All right, by the power given to me by God, our friendship, and the internet, it is my great joy to now pronounce you husband and wife. Ian, you may kiss the bride. After Ian and Jess and the wedding party recess, please join us downstairs to get this party started. And with that, it is my great honor to present for the very first time Mr. and Mrs. Ian and Jessica Hazley.